Chair recognizes Mr. Durkin. Ladies and gentlemen.
No, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Question is, why now?
After the new assembly convenes, there already will be in place all the constitutional officers. And it is possible that at that point, were we to say that the term of Comptroller will be up for election in 2016, it's conceivable there could be legal issues over whether the person that Governor-elect Rauners appointed would by that time have a vested right, a property right in the job. So the cleanest way to do it is to do it now.
The cleanest way to be able to strip an incoming governor of his executive authority would be to do it now, correct?
What? No, nothing to do with the governor and his authority.
Oh, please, come on, Representative Curry.
Look, this is in perpetuity. The law that we are passing today, if we pass it, would apply any day down the road to any governor, Republican or Democratic, any office holder, whether a Republican or a Democrat. This is generic legislation.
We're here for one reason,
it is about democratic governance, not about political partisanship.
Really? Representative Curry, you and I have served a number of years together, and quite frankly, we wouldn't be here but for the vacancy in that office. I appreciate your response. I don't buy it, though.
It's not just a question about this comptroller's office. It's about any of the four offices I described to you earlier, and this will apply in the future, whether the governor is a Democrat or Republican, whether the office holder was elected as a Republican, a Democrat, or a member of the Green Party. That's the question before us today, and I would urge all of us to support democracy.
I'm glad we're talking about democracy, because I think that what we're talking about today, at least the spirit that I'm hearing from the other side of the aisle, I'd like to see where that spirit's going to be at the end of January when we talk about these undemocratic rules of the House, which have been imposed and shoved down the throats of the 40s of the House minority for a number of years, and also their constituents.
The laws that we're subject to were not drafted with enough specificity, and we need to fix that. And I submit that democratic institutions are never weakened by increased participation of the people that they serve. If this legislation had been introduced in response to a similar vacancy in a Republican Secretary of State's office with a Democratic governor appointing a successor, I would be saying the exact same thing. Because the people don't vote for a political party, they vote for the person they believe that's best suited to discharge the duties of the office. And given the 3-2 split in our current constitutional office holders, I don't know how anyone can see it any other way.
What's deficient about the Constitution?
Nothing. The Constitution is clear. It's unambiguous. I don't understand what you're hassling about. It is a living.
What we're doing today is you're passing special legislation that really goes above and beyond what is in our Constitution to solve a problem that you think we have.
It is clear, it is unambiguous. We have the authority to decide whether to establish a special election. We have the authority to establish the manner, the timing of a special election. We chose not to add to the burden of the taxpayers by creating a special election. All this measure does is to say that today and tomorrow and years down the road, if there is a vacancy of more than 28 months, the next regularly scheduled general election shall cause the election, the opportunity for the voices of the people to be heard.
The voters of Illinois did not just elect Judy Baar Topinka, that kind of crazy aunt that we all loved, who played the accordion, who loved her dogs, who never passed a flea market that she wouldn't stop at and buy something. The voters didn't just elect that lady. No, the voters also elected Judy Baar Topinka, the Republican candidate for Comptroller, the former Republican treasurer, the former Republican chair of the party, the former Republican candidate for governor. They elected a Republican to the office of Comptroller, and I contend that the voters of Illinois expect a Republican to hold that seat because they spoke last November.
And the question before the body is a motion by Representative Curry that the House do concur in Senate Amendments number 1 and 2 to House Bill 4576. On that question, those in favor signify by voting yes, those opposed by voting no. Of all voted or wish. The clerk shall take the record.